Hey, this is Tim Paulson, captain of the Pucky Charm. I will personally buy pizza for any team that beats us at the Glow Hockey Tournament this year.
Wow.
Sign up, practice,
Wow. Calling them out. They think they're unbeatable.
Oh, we are.
You know what happened to Goliath right before he was killed, right?
Yeah, but really, I just want people to sign up.
Alright, here we go. Video 5, Section 3, Youth Pastor 101. We've talked big picture, we've talked what it actually means to be a youth pastor, but what are the nuts and bolts? Like, what do I do on a Wednesday? What do I do on a Sunday? What do I do when I show up to invest in students and be their youth pastor? I'm glad you asked, because here are what we expect. So, page 18 and 19, you'll see an overview of our programs, right? So we believe that our programs are the platform to reach students. They're never more than just a tool to build relationships. Because as adults, where else do you get to hang out with a group of teenagers and not have a restraining order filed against you, right? Our programs are a platform to just get to know students. And so it's never about the program. Let me just rephrase that and say that again. It is never about the program. It is about the relationships that form at the program that give us a leverage into students' life. And so you can read about our programs and how we do what we do, but I want to draw your attention to page 21 because as a job of a youth pastor, we have to leverage our programs to invest in students. It's never about the program. So we've identified 4 things that when you show up to a program that you and I can all do that will really help you get the most out of your involvement in the program. So the first and foremost thing, showing up early and staying late. We want leaders to show up 15 minutes before the start time of the event and plan on staying at least 15 minutes after the event because that unstructured time is such good relational building time. It's a time where you're playing Mario Kart in the junior high room. It's a time where you're playing basketball with students. It's a time where you're playing spicy Uno or just talking about life or sharing a coffee at the snack bar, right? It is the unstructured time to just jump into relationships with students. I can guarantee you that if you are a leader that shows up when the countdown hits 0 and things get started and you leave as soon as we say amen, you will find it very difficult to gain ground relationally. That's just how it goes because the unstructured time goes way further than the structured time. So you may be asking, why do we structure the time? That's another conversation for another day. I promise it has a purpose. The number 2 thing you can do is initiate, right? Jesus initiated a relationship with us, and so we've got to initiate relationships with students. Sometimes it's awkward. Sometimes a student, you get the sense they don't want to talk to you. They don't want to spend time with you. They're just here to see their friends. And what that causes us to do to we kind of just hang in the back or hang on the sides and just wait for students to walk up to us. But we're here to invest in students, right? We're here to initiate with students. We're here to love on students. The responsibility to initiate the relationship is on us, not the student. Here's a few things that you can do. We use the acronym SIT. We want people to sit with the student. So there's 3 questions you can ask to help initiate the conversation. What I'll do to a student when they walk in, I'll say, hey, what's up? Who are you? What school do you go to? That's the S in SIT. Number 2, I. How long have you been involved at FCC? What school? How long have you been involved here? And then what's your 30-second, the T, 30-second life story? What happens when you ask about the 30-second life story is that students will usually ramble off like 5 or 6 facts about their life. They're not going to really give you their 30-second life story. But they'll tell you like, well, I play soccer and I'm in the band and homework sucks, right? And so what that does is that gives you a few things that you can ask further questions about to get to know who that student is. And then I'll just invite them, hey, sweet, I'm about to go play some Connect 4. Do you want to come play with me? Hey, I'm just about to go grab a drink from the snack bar. Can I buy you one, right? It's that just informal, hey, I saw you looking at your phone. Do you want the Wi-Fi code? That informal just connection, initiating the relationship. Number 3, sit with one. As leaders, we're a team. We love each other. We invest in each other. We hang out with each other. But here's the deal. We love each other so much that sometimes the temptation is to be kind of like together in our own little huddle or be sitting in the back. We want each leader every week to be investing in students. So the general rule is to sit with one, which means that make sure there's at least one student in your midst at all times. So when you're seated during programs, make sure you're sitting in the midst of students, not in the back of the room, not on a couch, not at the coffee tables in the back. Additionally, when you're seated, make an effort to have at least one student next to you, right? If you've got a leader on either side of you during program time, you're doing it wrong. Make sure we're sitting with one. And the last thing is to participate. A lot of things that we do at program, especially the games, are meant to just level the playing field, right? They're meant to level the field. This is why we have structure, to level the playing field so that leaders and students are kind of on this equal footing to just engage together and share this experience. The games, especially, the primary purpose are for you and students to have a shared experience. So, and activities at camps and lip sync battle and glow hockey are more than just a fun student experience. They are meant to give you a chance to connect with students by being on their level. That said, unless you've got a medical reason not to, we are all expected to be our participant in all things student ministry, which means we don't sit out of the games. We don't sit out of glow hockey. If you're slow and have to hobble around or be the goalie in glow hockey, by all means, do it, but don't sit out. Participate unless the doctor says you're going to die if you participate, then please don't. But jump in by all means. So we're gonna stop right there, check out the questions below, and then we'll resume.